Didn't have the 400 years of reverence behind it,
right.
you know. And then even in the Restoration, they were changing it.
Right.
They're changing the end. They're like, all right, Romeo and Juliet are going to live tonight. And like now we're like, no, you cannot. It's, you know. And it's great to have the reverence, but yeah, it's like, that's what it was. It was dick and fart jokes for his buddies, you know. And it's, yeah, I don't know. Were we rolling through the whole thing? My name is Barry Finnegan, and I am an actor, which means I'm a bartender. Basically, that's how it works. It seems to work out. We were reading Macbeth in English class. We read Romeo and Juliet the year before in English class, freshman English class in high school, and I hated it. I was like, they told us in the prologue that they tell you the ending, that they're gonna die, and I was like, this is so stupid, what the? And then the next year, I don't know what the teacher did differently, but maybe it was just Macbeth and I thought it was cooler or something with all the stuff, but all of a sudden it just was like, oh man, this means this and this means that. It just all started to kind of fit together in a different way. And then my junior year, I took drama class and did the Get Thee to a Nunnery scene. And then once I spoke the words out loud, then it was game over. And it was like a drug. I mean, I remember doing it. I had done other scenes, I'd done other stuff, but as soon as I started speaking the Shakespeare words, I remember like feeling the adrenaline in my hand, my fingers tingling and stuff, and getting flush, and just speaking the words, suddenly just the emotions were just all there. It was like, well, I learned to surf a couple of years ago, and it's kind of like that. It's an energy that if you know how to kind of harness it, it can take you to a place that you didn't think you could go. It just has a way of helping understand what I'm going through a lot of the time. Because you go through the canon and there's just, I mean, it pretty much runs the gamut of emotions and the human condition. It may not have every single situation, but there's usually something that's close enough, you know. I mean, when something traumatic happens in the family, you know, or my mom will say, what does Shakespeare have to say about this? And sometimes I know it, sometimes I'm like, I'll get back to you. And then I'll go and I'll look. I'm like, Mom, remember, you know, and this, you know. It just has a way of helping me understand what I'm going through a lot of times, I guess is the easiest way to say it. Getting over the idea that there's a right way to do it. Because I got to play Mercutio twice, and the first time I did it, it felt like, I don't want to say I failed, because that's maybe too strong, but I was trying to get it right. And when you do that, you can't make it your own. If you can get over that and just kind of come at the words like you're reading some comedy sketch that your friend just wrote and emailed you, and just go, all right, what do I want to do with this? What do I see in it? What you know, how does it resonate with me? I think that's the biggest thing. There's all the technical stuff that you need. And I feel like sometimes at first that can be a little bit of a hindrance, because you can be too in your head and start thinking about, I'm supposed to, you know, emphasize the verb and not this pronoun, or you know, these things. And you need to kind of know that and then practice it and then forget it. And so you can, you know, and it's easier said than done, but it's like a lot of things. It's like a practice. You're never going to get it right. So it's just the love of doing it. The reason I love the Gravedigger scene is it has that great theatrical convention where it's really, really funny and sort of absurd, even though they're talking about something serious, and then it kind of flips on a dime. The Gravedigger and Hamlet are going back and forth, exchanging quips and these silly jokes, and then the Gravedigger has his York skull and Hamlet New York, and then he asks to see the skull, and then all of a sudden you have the most iconic image in all of theater, Hamlet looking at the skull. And when he sees it, he looks at it and he says, alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your songs, your gambols, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chop-fallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that.